What's going to happen is that the prosecution will submit a sentencing memorandum, the defense will do the same, and the prosecution will argue that there are aggravating circumstances here. The prosecution, I think, will argue that there is evidence that and facts that the jury heard which are related to the crimes that he was convicted of.
Gan deal has shattered the long-standing code of secrecy, and the resulting shockwaves are reverberating from one end of the country to the other. Behind private and heavily secured meeting rooms, the upper echelon of the hip-hop community is gripped with unease. Why is that? Because one of Diddy's most loyal and previously silent insiders has now begun revealing to the public what many have only dared to mutter quietly in hushed tones and through encoded digital messages. Gan isn't merely a bitter ex-employee seeking revenge. He was present, right at the very center of the powerful machine. And now, he's alleging that Diddy was not simply associated with the far-reaching human trafficking operation currently under federal inquiry, but that he might have actively participated in setting in motion one of the most memorable and pivotal moments in the history of music, the fatal shooting of Shakur.
They did not want East Coast rappers to get big. They were suppressing all new artists that was coming out of New York. Jay and Diddy was doing that.
These accusations are profoundly serious. Gene Deal has gone public repeatedly, asserting that Diddy maintained significant operational involvement with both federal intelligence agencies and the illicit criminal networks, and that those two domains frequently overlapped in hazardous and unpredictable ways. If Gene's claims reflect the reality, then this isn't just another case of a fallen public figure. This is a person who constructed his empire on the foundation of manipulation, surveillance tactics, and strategic acts of intimidation. According to Deal's account, Diddy didn't just harbor secrets. He was the central mystery itself, the still point in the whirlwind, the architect of calculated deniability. And now, decades after the final bullet was fired on that infamous Las Vegas night, the reckoning may finally be arriving.
That's one reason, other than the Irv Gotti that 50 was going through and the poison they was putting in about 50, he had to go elsewhere to California or with Jay and not with Dre and
The consequences are massive because these accusations are not being voiced in obscure online corners. They are colliding directly with active and chaotic legal proceedings. Federal attorneys have already stunned the public by acknowledging that a vital witness, identified as Victim 3 in the newly revised indictment, has gone completely missing. Not merely difficult to locate, utterly disappeared. No verified whereabouts, no updates, not even a word from her legal counsel. According to filed documents, she had devastating testimony prepared. Testimony said to involve years of psychological manipulation, illegal gatherings, and hidden recordings allegedly planned and directed by Combs himself. That evidence may now never emerge. And privately, people are now voicing the chilling question no one wants to say out loud. Did someone make her vanish?
80 to 100, 800 to a...
We're certainly not the only ones raising that question. Sources within the legal world have compared this situation to a Ghislaine Maxwell-style setup, except with luxury suits and platinum-selling albums. Several previous staff members have even likened Diddy's longtime chief assistant to Maxwell herself, alleging she arranged escorts, facilitated drug-fueled affairs, and handled confidential legal documents like a mob bookkeeper managing payoff ledgers. Legal papers state that freak-offs, bizarre recorded sessions, took place where women were reportedly compelled to perform while Diddy observed and filmed, creating leverage. Victims allege he threatened to release the footage if they refused to obey. One federal official reportedly described the seizure of more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil during a mansion search as clear signs of a highly structured, mechanical, and ruthless operation. And the heat continues to build, because Gan Deal is not the only one buckling under the weight of past choices, with no fortune left to protect. He's now reportedly stoking the flames. From his cell, Suge is said to have verified crucial parts of the long-standing theory that Diddy placed a financial bounty on Shakur's head, allegedly millions, all to eliminate a perceived threat. Recently unsealed records from the Shakur case reveal Diddy's name came up more than 40 times in a secretive law enforcement interview with Keefe D, the last remaining suspect in the 1996 drive-by. Keefe told police that Diddy didn't just endorse violence, he demanded it. The alleged words, "I'll give anything for that dude's head," referring to Suge, to Shakur, to both.
Destroy East Coast rap. And what I mean by that, and I know people gonna like, yo, Gene is out of his mind and everything like that. Check this out, brother.
And here's something even more unsettling. If Keefe's account holds truth, then that threat wasn't a quiet whisper. It was a public proclamation, reportedly made in front of numerous eyewitnesses. Merely days later, Shakur was ambushed on the streets of Las Vegas, riddled with bullets, and died shortly after in a hospital. Diddy has persistently denied any participation, labeling these claims as complete fiction. But now, prosecutors have obtained transcripts, recordings, and first-hand witnesses, and they're treating the case with grave seriousness.
As legal proceedings progress, more connections continue to emerge. A retired Los Angeles detective insists that Keefe D's confession should have resolved this case many years ago, but the combination of celebrity status and collective silence buried it. Now, with the truth seeping out, the potential fallout is enormous. If even part of it proves accurate, it would suggest that Diddy leveraged his influence to interfere with criminal investigations and suppress witness accounts. Gene Deal asserts that the mogul has served as an FBI informant for an extended period, offering select information while insulating his empire from full collapse. And all those hushed rumors about missing informants, destroyed files, and muted victims, they're beginning to seem less like far-fetched theories and more like deliberate tactics.
There's different things that's not really beef though. That's just competitive.
Competitiveness. All right, so you and Diddy, you and Puff cool?
Nah.
Gene has already claimed that he's been subjected to threats, and someone close to him has stated he was recently attacked in what appeared more like a calculated warning than a simple robbery. Yet he refuses to retreat. In fact, the intimidation has seemingly strengthened his resolve. He's now more vocal, more unyielding, determined to push through until the bitter conclusion, even if that means naming powerful names and severing all his past alliances. Meanwhile, others within the inner circle are reportedly contemplating whether to speak out, but fear they might become the next Victim 3. Let's return to her for a moment. Victim 3 was anticipated to be the government's most powerful witness, someone who could expose the true depth of this conspiracy. She had reportedly informed officials that she intended to use her real identity on the stand. She was ready to share everything. And then, silence. She's no longer in New York. Federal agents cannot locate her. Her legal representation is unreachable. And the prosecutors have already conceded they might need to continue without her. Just pause and think. A woman prepared to reveal names, unveil a decade of mistreatment, and directly implicate Diddy in federal-level offenses. Gone, without a trace, before her moment in court. Insiders say her absence could severely weaken the entire prosecution. Others argue it won't matter, because if what Gene Deal, Suge Knight, and the mounting testimony around Keefe suggest is accurate, then this isn't merely about one vanished witness. It's about a man who possibly crafted a billion-dollar empire by orchestrating destruction from the shadows. Diddy continues to deny everything. His attorneys are working overtime, casting the freak-offs as consensual encounters between adults and downplaying the recovered videos as meaningless. Prosecutors, however, are not retreating. They claim the material, videos, testimony, and non-disclosure contracts, amounts to the kind of proof that leads to life sentences. And this isn't the only deeply disturbing twist. Federal investigators allege that Diddy utilized prison phone access to clandestinely coordinate with outside associates, reportedly attempting to sway witnesses while incarcerated through secret three-way calls, unauthorized access, and coded language. This wasn't an impulsive reaction. It was deliberate strategy. That level of organization has led prosecutors to believe they are not simply dealing with an ethically compromised star. They believe they are confronting the central architect of a sprawling, decades-long criminal network. Officials are already likening the situation to R. Kelly meets Jeffrey Epstein, wrapped in a glitzy Hollywood shell. And what's truly terrifying? Authorities haven't even revealed their most damning evidence yet. The most damaging proof, the material directly connecting the trafficking allegations to the violent legacy of 1990s Los Angeles,